Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing Podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, man, what's going on? Welcome back to the No Bluffin Podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies. I am Chris Ingram.
And I am Evan Hayes.
Man, appreciate y'all tapping back in with us, man. Glad to be back, man. First of all, Evan, I got to apologize to our listeners, bro.
Okay, what you talking about?
I got to apologize because last week, you know, we for the last couple weeks, bro, we've been trying to get our audio like this on the same page.
Crystal.
We done did so much and we made so much progress, and I completely just loafed out. That's just what it is. I'm on a new setup normally than what I, used to record on and stuff like that, and I just had a rookie mistake, man. So I was recording from my webcam, bro, instead of my mic. I was sitting here, like, it irritated my soul when I was watching it back, and I'm sitting here holding the mic. And I'm not hearing no difference.
Nothing.
In the sound. I'm like, fam, this is garbage. So, anyway, apologize for the terrible sound. Anthony Sane and Kenny Summerfield, they got on my ass on their show about it. Shout out to my guys over there for sure. But yeah, man, glad to be back. Hopefully, I'm coming through crystal clear. You can hear me good, right?
Yeah, you hear me good. I hear you good. We straight.
We straight.
Let's get it.
Man, so glad to be back, man. We got an amazing show lined up for y'all today for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some amazing, just good conversation I think we're gonna have. And appreciate everybody's support on that first episode dropping. Like I said, outside of the audio issues, we got some really good feedback on the show. So
yeah, we did for sure. Appreciate all the
right.
love. Appreciate the love and the patience. We've been trying to get this going for the past few weeks now. We finally visual now. So we appreciate all the love, feedback. Let's run it up. Let's make this episode even better than the last one. Like it, share it, all.
Sure.
But it's gonna be a good one for sure.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. So before we get into the No Bluffin news, man, y'all know that's how we popping it off. Evan, I got a question for you. I didn't prep you on this because I wanted to get your raw, honest opinion about this, right?
It's always some stuff with you. But all right, let's get it.
I got you, bro. I gotta put you on the spot, bro. So I put a tweet out there earlier this week, and we just be talking about stuff on Twitter, man. X, whatever you want to call it. About these young players, their shoes, right? I don't know if you saw this one in particular, but it was about the Ja versus the Anthony Edwards shoe. Now, when it first came out, I ain't gonna lie, when the Ant Edwards one first came out, I was like, because he dropped the commercial where he was talking about basically everybody's first shoe.
Yeah,
like, I got the best one.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, Ed, like, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
But as a fan of Adidas, as a fan of the Yeezys and things like that, they grew on me really, really quick. And I'll be honest, to me personally, the man wasn't lying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
I think he may have one of the best first looking shoes or best looking first shoes or whatever. So tell me, man, how you feel about it. What's your take on it between the Ja and the AE1? What's your thoughts between each shoe and which one you like better?
Well, first of all, by tonight, I'm rocking with the Ja 1 all day. Ja 1 looks better, performs better. I actually have a pair of Ja 1s myself. Where is it? Oh,
which ones you got?
I got these jumps right here.
Which one? Which what they call? You remember the name of them?
I really can't. I used to be so into shoes. No, Midnight Series. Yep, it's right here. If the camera can see it.
That ain't it, bro. They all got Midnight Series on them.
Oh, well, I don't know that.
Which is weird to me because, like, if you look on the back, like, no joke, if you look on the back of every single shoe, you can go on StockX, Go, all of them. They all got it on that small part. But it's like, bro, how is every shoe you drop in the Midnight Series?
I got the box. I ain't finna reach up for the box, but the box is right here. Yeah,
I got you. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
But number one, the Ja looks better, and I don't see the Ant Edwards shoe height. Honestly, the Ant Edwards shoe looks like the Kobe one with Adidas. It looks just like to me. If you remember the Kobe, and I thought the Kobe one for Adidas was very ugly. I didn't like it.
It was bad.
It didn't. That's what it rhymed. That's what Ant Edwards first shoe remind me of. And I didn't personally like it. And talking about first shoes, I think Kyrie's first shoe in Nike was better than Ant Edwards' first shoe. Yeah, I think Curry's first shoe with Under Armour was better Yes, the Curry one was a very good looking basketball, especially the different colorways they did. I'm trying to think who has had a really good first shoe, because I used to be like super into, especially basketball shoes. Chris Paul's shoe wasn't good. LeBron's shoe. I think the shoulder ones, the first LeBron shoe, first generation, them jumps were hard. I don't like a lot of LeBron's, but LeBron's first shoe,
we here.
Sacramento, first game versus Sacramento, especially the white and red colorway, them jumps hard. I'm trying to think who else has like a really cold first shoe. I can't think of someone on top of my head because Dame Lillard's first shoe wasn't good. Yeah. Klay Thompson's shoe definitely wasn't good.
God awful.
Chris Paul, like I said, Chris Paul's shoe wasn't good.
You like the AR-15, bro?
No, no, not even close. Not even close. Of course, Jordan is his own thing. Of course, you have to say Jordan because he's still a signature athlete, but you can't. That's a whole different conversation. But now I don't like the. It was me personally. I haven't had them in pair in hand. I haven't seen them in person, so maybe I've seen them in person. But I'm definitely on the team Josh side for sure. Besides me being biased, obviously.
And that's what I pointed out. I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's what I pointed out. Like a lot of people, and it's okay. Like it's not a knock. It's not a bad thing to say this. Like a lot of fans of Ja, fans of the Grizzlies, like this is probably, and I ain't saying all of them. Like nothing's ever absolute. So let's always clear that up. But a lot of people that are probably just now buying shoes for the first time like this are probably the Ja's because they fool with the Grizzlies. They love Ja, and that's what it's supposed to do. Like Jordan brought a whole new demographic to the sneaker community. So like it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's not a knock. But I made the point that like if Ja was with the Timberwolves, if Ja was with the Sacramento Kings, like would we be rocking with the shoe like that? And possibly, but my counterpoint to that, like you said, was I didn't see a lot of people walking around Memphis with the Kyrie Irving shoe on. You know what I'm saying? And it was a hard shoe.
Yeah, it was very hard. Yeah.
So only reason now, this is my last question, and we'll get out of this subject. But have you had any Yeezys before? Or do you like the Yeezy?
I do like Yeezys. Some of them, like the first, like the zebra print. I can't remember like the version, but the zebras.
I think they're the 350s.
Those 350s. The 350s, I like those. I don't really like the big like sandal Yeezys. Those don't, when they look out, I don't like those at all.
Yeah.
But I do like Yeezys. I used to have a pair before I ruined them, and that's a long story for another day. But yeah, I do like, they're super comfortable. I do like the Yeezy line. I just feel like Kanye or Ye, whatever he wants to call himself now.
Whatever you want to call him. He
just gets too creative sometimes. Like the 350 was probably like the best model of Yeezy, but now he goes like to the big super sandals. Now he going with the big black boots and all that. Like,
man, got a sock shoe, bro.
Yeah, like that too. Like I feel like that brand and different like Balenciaga. Like I feel like those Yeezys and Balenciaga, they try to get too creative, and I feel like they try to just jump the shark every time. And I don't think with shoes you have to do all that. I'm a very simple shoe type of guy. If you look at my shoe collection, it's pretty much Dunks, Jordans, New Balances, Ultra Boost, and like maybe some Nike Prestos or just some Jordan 1s, just to comfortable
guy. You a track guy. You on your feet all day, bro.
Exactly. Like I'm comfortable and try to be stylish. And if it's cold in the winter, I wear some Uggs, like simple stuff. So I do like Yeezy.
Uggs guy.
Yes, I do like. That's a whole. I know that's a different conversation.
Hey, I'm with you. Hey, we here, bro.
Yeah,
hey,
I love her.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, when it's cold, I like Uggs. So I'm a very simple shoe game type of guy. So Yeezys, I like them, but then when they get too far, I ain't really mess with them.
Yeah. I feel that, bro. I feel that 100%. I had to get your take on that because I ain't prep you on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, my voice is, even though my sound is better, I sound like Lil Daryl. Man, this is my second time getting sick within the last month. The whole house, literally. My oldest baby girl, she's 3. She got sick right before her birthday. Got everybody sick. Same thing again, literally less than a month later. So I apologize for that. I won't be trying to cough on here or nothing like that. I ain't trying to pass through the microphone, through the system. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't got COVID. I was just saying. But anyway, man, we're gonna jump right in to the No Bluffin news. I'm excited, bro, to really talk about what we got going on this week as far as news topics, and we're gonna start with the NCAA tournament. Have you been kind of tapped into the tournament at all?
Yeah, probably this year the least out of the other years because Memphis is not in it, and that's just my complete honest. When of course Memphis is in it, I'm way more tuned in. But just as a fan of basketball, I'm super tuned in. I've liked what I've seen. It's been a few fire games. Now we're going to get into it. But yeah, I've been pretty much tuned in. I've enjoyed the round of 32 so far, and we're of course recording this on Sunday. There's still more games about to come. But what are your thoughts on the tournament so far?
Man, it's been good for the most part. If you would have asked me who was gonna win it all at the beginning, I didn't really have a team. I'll be honest. Because like college basketball on the men's side, it's just so up and down, bro.
So
like
unpredictable, super unpredictable.
And, you know, we talked about a couple weeks ago on Sane's show about the whole NIL and the transfer portal thing. I think those days of being able to point to, like, you know, somebody that, all right, we know for sure they're gonna repeat, they're gonna go every single year to a Final Four. I don't know if that's, you know, a thing like it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, definitely not.
So I didn't really have a team that I was, you know, pinpointing that was going to make, you know, the finals or whatever. But I've been enjoying the games for sure. I've been tapped in really to mainly a lot of the guys that I'm wanting the Grizzlies to at least take a look at in the draft. So like UConn will play today. Like you said, we're recording on Sunday. So dropping on Monday. Looking to look at Donovan Clingan with UConn. I want to see what he's going to do. I think that I know they've been the favorite so far. I think they got a real shot. Honestly, like they be out there dogging folks.
Same.
And he's huge, bro. I'm just we ain't talking about draft stuff right now, but I would love to see him in the Grizz jersey. I ain't mad if it happened.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't really watched Zach Edey, but I'm gonna take a look at him today just because he's a 7'4" behemoth. I don't know if it's gonna translate, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I just been peeped and locked in on centers, bro, and then obviously those Kentucky guys, but they just fizzled out. It showed you the youth. You know what I'm saying? What was your thoughts on that upset, bro?
I have said this for a long time. I believe the formula of Coach Cal and just trying to rock with freshmen, it just doesn't. It's not sustainable for success in college basketball. Yes, he's great for putting a lot of guys in the league. Like, you never want to hate on a man that's making 18, 19, 20-year-olds money and getting her family different position. That's Cal's perspective. Right. But I honestly think, and people may get on me about this, I honestly think Cal is the most overrated coach in college basketball. If he didn't win,
you're not wrong, bro.
If he didn't, Anthony Davis saved his career. If he didn't win that chip with AD, he would not have the job in Kentucky. I'm saying that right now.
Oh, snap.
Think about that. Memphis and KU have the same amount of tournament wins in the last 5 seasons. 1.
That's true.
Think about that.
That's true.
University of Memphis, Penny Hardaway, and University of Kentucky, who's in the top 5 recruiting class, top 3 recruiting class every year with top 10 draft picks, has only had 1 year. Coach Cass has so much talent over the past years. He's had De'Aaron Fox. He's had Carl Towns, SGA. We can keep going. We've had Julius Randle, the Harrison, even though they didn't fill out in the league. Like, we can Devin Booker,
man,
Bam Adebayo. Like, we can keep going. And he has 1 championship to stand for. Like, it just I don't see the correlation of him being one of the best coaches in college basketball. And I think his philosophy. He doesn't. His past 5 teams, since the 80s, they don't play defense. They just don't. They try to run and gun, get a lot of threes up, and try to play you with the guard play. That doesn't work. They don't play defense, man. And I'm not surprised that a more experienced Oakland team, which I didn't know where they were before this game. I didn't know.
Bro was shooting that judge.
I thought it was Oakland from the fucking Michigan. I was surprised.
Man, you seen that? Stop, bro. You seen all them white dudes on that team? They was not from Oakland. I was telling my wife and my dad. I was like, bro, just look at the stands. Like, that ain't Oakland, California. Like, no.
I know there's an Oakland, Michigan. I was like, okay, Oakland, cool. But my brother said the same. He was like, bro, look at the team. It's number of white dudes on the team.
Come on.
But I'm not surprised I'm surprised they lost. I'm not surprised a more experienced team lost. But I feel like this is example of Cal being not a good coach, in my opinion. Right. I feel like his fire is gone. I feel like his defensive intensity when it comes to that is gone. I don't see him being. I feel like KU is gonna fire him, but I really don't think he has a legit future of winning with the philosophy he has now.
Yeah, it's one of them things where he can hang his hat on the fact that he can get guys to the league. Like Dillingham is going to the league, Shepard is going to the league, Ivisic is going to the league. They probably got a couple other guys that's probably going to the league on that team. That's his calling card. But like you said, if you give Penny those same top 5, top whatever draft classes, is it the same story? People can say Memphis had the best team they've had under Penny this year, but it still ain't touching.
Yeah, the stuff KU has and Cal has. Like, I just don't see it, bro. Like, I don't think they're gonna fire him. I don't think he's. I think he's gonna be on a Coach K contract. He's gonna leave when he wants to leave. But for all the Kentucky fans, which I know there's very little in Memphis, because I hate Kentucky too. I like seeing Kentucky lose just as much as the next guy.
Yeah,
he's not the guy to produce wins and produce championships. Because I swear, if AD didn't win him that one championship with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in that squad, he would not have that job. And that's my spit on it for sure.
Man, you just brought up a name.
And also my pick besides UConn is Marquette. People sleeping on Marquette. Shout out Cam Jones from Memphis, Tennessee. He went to ECS. Shout out Cam Jones. He is hooping right now. He dropped 28 in their last game. So my dark horse to win the whole thing is Marquette, and I really want Cam Jones to get him a chip for sure.
I'm gonna roll with Marquette with you, bro. Like you said, for everything, and they look good. And then
they do look good.
Being from the city, I can't root against that guy, man. Make a D run, let's go. And I always kind of rock with Marquette. I like them. As a team, they always have competitive teams anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, shout out to them, bro. Drop in the comments below who is your pick to make. I ain't gonna say make the finals. Who you got winning? Like we want to know who you got winning the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I do think, and we're gonna jump to the next thing. It was funny to me that the Oakland guy, he was shooting the pill off the ball the first game, but at his interview walking off, he said that and this ain't no Cinderella. And I was telling my wife, I said he shouldn't have said that. Because y'all were 100% of Cinderella.
Yeah.
But you messed up the whole vibe and y'all went and lost in this game. So, shout out to him. He, hey, shout out to him, bro. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. The NBA announced they're gonna actually do away with, and end the G League Ignite program. It was a program, if you're not really aware of what was going on, it was a program where they had, guys that, opened up a whole new lane for them that didn't want to go to college, but still wanted to maybe work on some skills, get some actual professional games in under their belt playing against G League players, which we all know there's some players down in the G League, bro. Look no further than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Memphis Hustle, Memphis Grizzlies. They really one and the same.
One and the same, bro. Outside of Jared Jackson, Desmond Bain, and Ja Morant, shit, everybody done got some time down there.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're doing away with it, man. And I'm kind of conflicted on it, but I definitely understand they're having to really, compete with the NIL scene and things like that. And then you got Overtime Elite, you got, the NBL, you got all these different pathways that guys got to the NBA now. And I want to say, what is it, next year where they actually supposed to be dropping the age too?
Yeah, to 18. Yeah.
What's the incentive at this point? You know what I'm saying? If you're good enough to go to the Ignite, you're probably good enough to get drafted at 18.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that whole situation, coming to an end?
I hate it, honestly. I actually like the whole idea of the G League Ignite when it first got introduced. Jalen Green was the first class, and I was investing in that because he was either going to come to Memphis, Auburn, or the G League Ignite. But when I finally got up on the store, I thought it was a great idea. Teams, they can basically get under the NBA for a whole year, and that was the goal. So I hate to see it go. But I honestly, like you said, I understand why. The NIL is very competitive right now. You can go, you can play pro, like go to LaMelo Ball route for a year and see how he's played. And I feel like there's so many alternatives to get guys prepared for the league now. NBA has to think about what they're putting their resources into, and that's one thing that got cut. They also had a 2-29 record last year. They weren't competitive. They just weren't winning games. So that's probably one of the biggest things that led to them getting disbanded. Is that the right word? Just cut in general.
Banished.
Yeah. So I hate it, honestly, but I think the writing was kind of on the wall. So that's kind of my spiel on it.
Yeah, I mean they only had like you said, Jalen Green, who's Scoot Henderson, which
Kuminga, Jaden Hardy,
which I wanted for the Grizzlies last year, but
a lot of them guys in that first class though. They had a lot of besides Scoot Henderson, a lot of those guys that are in the league now was from that first class. I know that Isaiah Todd, he was on that team too.
Former Grizzly for like 2 days.
Former Grizzlies. He's been bouncing around the league. I know Dacian Nix, he's just in the G League now. Yeah. So a lot of those guys from that first class, since that first class and Scoot, there has been a lot of guys that have really like made rotation players in the league. So you can really question like the production system. I feel like it's a good system, but to prove we've only named like 6 guys that's actually able to get some clock on the NBA floor. So if you're the NBA, you have to think about what you're putting your money into, and that's just one of the things that got cut. So it's kind of nature of the beast, you know.
Peace out.
Straight like that.
See you later. Shout out to Anthony Sane, man. He had a cool idea that I think is something that the NBA probably is rocking with. It made sense anyway. They were talking about he was talking about where he thinks the NBA may be trying to open up a third round where it may just be straight development guys. Maybe you just go, directly to drafting these guys to be a two-way or whatever. The only reason I don't like that is the fact that the Grizzlies have been getting these guys late in the second and making them their two ways. And, it's only so many roster spots, but, maybe they'll work something out. Maybe you got 4 two ways or some crazy mess like that. They'll figure it out. So,
I don't dislike that. I don't see the NBA doing it because that means you maybe have to limit the amount of either picks overall or maybe limit the amount of picks a team can get because it's not like you said, so many more roster spots. I think it's a good idea, but I don't really rock with it because the third round, that's just first it makes the NBA draft longer, and that's when.
Well, they're making it 2 days now.
Yeah, they're making it 2 days, but that's still annoying. That's annoying. Like, why even do it? It's only 60 guys getting picked, but that's why I just like the NFL draft because it's 7, 8. How many rounds in the NFL? Like 12, something like that.
It's 7 rounds. 3 days though.
But still, you at 2 a.m. dudes getting picked. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, I like that idea. Shout out Sane, but I don't really see the practicality in that.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of constantly trying to find ways of kicking our OGs out the league. It's bad enough as is. Like, we even got people now trying to kick D Rose off the Grizzlies because he injured. I'm like, no, I don't give a damn if he doesn't go out there and shoot one more ball for the rest of his contract. Like, I want him on this team for the simple fact, like, you need guys like that, bro. And
facts.
You paying them $3 million to be your 15 man and not really play. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fine. So, but this last one, man, we're taking a little bit off of basketball, but definitely about what's going on in the culture right now. It was some shots fired on Friday, bro.
I woke up. I'm like, bro, what it? I was so confused because I had to go see Bird because I had a track meet on Saturday morning. But I wake up like 11. I see Twitter going crazy. They said Kendrick dissed J. Cole, and I'm like, what happened? Why is Kendrick so mad? Right. Like, what did he do? Like, what did J. Cole? Okay, I get Drake. Drake is saying something, but J. Cole and Kendrick, they cool. They supposed to be friends.
So you thought.
Like, okay. So before I get your thing, this is my thing. I don't really see the practicality of it because if J. Cole and Drake team up against Kendrick, Kendrick's getting washed. He's getting washed. I think that, and also I don't think this may be a controversial opinion. I don't think the bar was that cold. Like, I don't think it was that cold. Like, Kendrick can do better. We've seen Kendrick do better when he wants to go at people.
Yeah.
So if Drake and Cole decide to respond, I feel like it's not gonna be good for Kendrick. And this again comes from a bias. J. Cole's my favorite rapper too, so just let everybody know that. I think if Drake and Cole try to respond, it's gonna be nasty for that boy Kung Fu Kenny.
I'm with you, but in a different thing, bro. Like in a different vein of it. I think Kendrick Lamar is overrated. That's I've always thought that.
Wow.
I was talking to Saint about this Friday. Like, I'm a jazz guy, bro. Like, I love jazz music. I love the arts. I love all of that, right? I don't want you with this weird voice over jazz beats, and because you're talking in a weird voice, that I'm supposed to think that like what you're doing is so amazing. It's the same thing I say about Nicki Minaj. Like, you're acting like a character, and we're paying close attention to the art of it versus like what you're like. He overrated to me. I'm sorry, bro.
That's a crazy take. Okay. That's a crazy take because my rebuttal to that is I truly think To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the greatest rap albums to ever be created. I feel like it's one of the best albums ever, and I think rapping ability. Like, yes, he does reflect his voice differently and all that, and I get that. That's why I can't listen to Kendrick all the time. Yeah, but I think straight up rapping, he's probably one of the greatest ever, just in my opinion. Just his bars, his wordplay, his punchlines, like 20 is crazy.
One of maybe the fifth. Okay, one of the greatest 15.
15. Okay, I can.
He ain't top 10. We ain't gonna do that. Like, we not gonna do that.
Okay, so do you think Drake and Cole are better than him?
Drake makes better music than him. Cole when he stops producing his own music like he's doing now, and in the beginning, like he did in the beginning, Cole makes better music than him.
I'm glad you said that because I think Cole is a better rapper just overall than Kendrick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think Cole,
me too.
He made his discography of music. In my opinion, it's better than
100%.
The off season was better. 24-14 Forces Drive was better. KOD was better. I feel like every single one of KD wasn't that good. KD was cool, but like the Pimp, dang, Garbage is crazy. But like the Sideline Store was a very good album,
bro.
Like, don't get me started.
It might be his best.
I don't know about that. That we can talk about that for another day.
Okay, you're right. We'll talk about it later.
That's a great concept for another day. But I can talk about J. Cole all day.
Cool.
But my last thing on it, if Cole responds, and my whole thing is I don't get why Kendrick's that mad because Kendrick gave Dot credit. He said, "Who is the big three? Is it K. Dot, Aubrey, or me? We the big three, like we're starting the league. Like, why are you mad?"
Go back and listen to that song in particular.
Mm-hmm.
He did say something about steppers, and what was Kendrick Lamar's last album called?
Miss Morale and the Big Steppers. That's a fact.
See, he started with Love.
Yeah. And
he threw a couple little jabs right after that to kind of ease it up. Now, so that's my thing, bro. Like, yeah, it's something there. And it's really weird even further when you take this whole thing into account. You're talking about the tie between Cole and Kendrick. The Drake and Future beef is crazy. That's
years into that. They got years.
Like, what is happening, bro? Like, I'm thinking we finna get set up for like some WrestleMania
Civil War type stuff.
Tag team. Like, what? Like, come on, bro. This is wild. But I love it. That it's some older guys that, we know it ain't gonna get probably past the rap beef. It's rumblings, people talking about the Future and Drake stuff is over a woman. It's gonna be performed. We've been waiting on this for like 10 years plus at this point. Yeah. So I'm looking for Drake and them to go and clap back. I hope they do it separately. But they gonna I know you were saying if they get together, they gonna get on Kendrick ass. I think if they do it separately, they're gonna get on his ass because Kendrick ain't shown me nothing to say otherwise.
I feel like in the last few years he has it, but have you listened to his Control verse? Like
Control was good, but he talking about some high five and okay, all right, bro.
Okay,
he just overrated me. I'm sorry, bro.
I disagree. He's overrated, but I do think Cole is better because, like Cole said, on Johnny's P. Caddy, headshot, best rapper alive.
Come on, man.
He shot his shot right there, and I feel like ever since then, Cole has been the greatest rapper alive right now. So I need y'all to put in the comments below if y'all team Drake, Cole, or K. Dot. I know where I stand. I'm Dreamville all day, but
it's in the order for me. It's in the order as you see right down on the screen.
Okay, Drake. Then Cole, then I respect that. that, but y'all
honestly, hold on. I'm finna mess you up.
Okay.
I saw a tweet that was talking about mid-tier rappers, right? Because around that time, like it was amazing. I know you younger than me, so that was the time where I was coming out of high school when these guys was like coming onto the scene, and blowing up. You had these three guys right here, but you also had Big Sean, which he just came back out this past weekend. They stepped on his release, but you had Sean, you had Meek Mill. You had Wale.
Yep, all of them.
Like, if we talking about the big three, and then you talking about them being like a mid-tier, I really like that mid-tier better overall.
You're wild. You're wild.
That's just me, bro.
You're wild.
Big Sean has always picked better beats than Cole. Wale is always, you talking about the jazzy shit, like he's a better jazzy, artsy song maker than Kendrick is to me. And then Meek was just one of my favorite rappers, bar for bar. So like I said, that's where my whole thing comes on that. And I know we running long on this one, my bad. But that mid-tier, bro, that definitely, like, I like them a little bit better overall. But the big three is the big three. So you got to give them respect. They got the bigger records. They got the bigger notoriety. So they going to always be better in that sense.
Yeah, that's not a crazy take because Meek Mill's Championship album is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. I love that album. That's a great album. Wale, I like Wale. I think he's a little underrated in my opinion. I like Wale a lot. I feel like he just hasn't had that like one like classic piece yet. And Big Sean, I feel like he's just been consistent. He's not gonna do nothing too great or too bad.
Right. He just in the middle, right? Really.
He just in the middle, But I do say Cole has made a song with every single one of those people. And he has watched them on every single one of them songs. But that's just me though. Cole has made I don't think he's made a song with Meek Mill. I don't think he's made a song with Meek Mill. But he's definitely made a song with Wale and Big Sean. He definitely made some of both of them. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
And he's watched them. But I know we're going too long in this rap talk, but
my bad, y'all.
We talk about this all day.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, man, that was really dope to kind of run through real quick. Shout out to all the topics that we had today, man. We're gonna kind of get it moving on to the next segment of our show, man. We're gonna talk about if you're an original OG fan of the No Bluffin podcast, you know that we had a No Bluffin player of the week. And normally we would do it at the end of the show, but because of certain reasons, we actually gonna do this in the beginning before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show. And you'll see why here in just a second. So before we move any further, we're gonna start with the No Bluffin player of the week, and it's not gonna be this Chris that's gonna tell you who the player is. I'm gonna let another Chris tell you who the No Bluffin of the week player is, and you know his reasons why. So here we go.
Tell you the most fulfilling thing about tonight was Gigi Jackson. Gigi Jackson was on my AAU team. I was his coach 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Gigi was on my AAU team with a John Adams coach, some great players, Rob Dillingham, Aiden Holloway, a lot of great kids. And Gigi is an unbelievable kid. We done played at Memphis twice this year, and I was hurt both of those games. So going into the game, it was crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes he still call me coach. And he hit a 3 in my face early in the game. I was pissed because our AAU program is really like a family. And so to see him to be out there on the court playing against him is something I never get used to. It's kind of a surreal moment. So I know I won't hear the end of that damn, what he had, 35. God, that was a career high.
Shout out to the guy, Gigi Jackson, man. It was hard because I wanted to put Jaren a little bit because he had that game winner the other night against the Spurs, but I had to go.
Talk about
Gigi. We definitely gonna talk about that. Oh, for sure. You stay tuned. You hear me. We're gonna talk about that. But yeah, man, I had to give it to Gigi just for the simple fact, like that game, like for everything that Chris Paul that he talked about, man, like him just his story this year, and then for him to he kind of got the Warriors number, and it's weird that we keep playing them on national TV. Gigi just balling out, bro. So before I go on my quick little soliloquy before we get into the topic, I want to get your thoughts just on Gigi's week, primarily that game, because he's been consistent every game other than that one game, but obviously he balled out, you know, on national TV against the Warriors.
He just keeps doing Gigi Jackson things. Like I don't want to come off like I'm not excited or surprised, but he's been doing this ever since we can get rotation minutes. We're seeing a star, and I'm saying star, grow above our eyes. I feel like when he gets to his prime, I feel like he's on an all-star talent trajectory. So that game against the Warriors, it was just cementing what I already believe in him. I feel like, because I tweeted out, next year he's gonna be the number 3 option on this team. Then next year after that, he's probably gonna be number 2. I don't see him taking number 12 as the number 1 option on this team. But I feel like he's going to take over Desmond Bane in the next 2 to 3 years, but then next option, then the number 2 option in this team, because he's a 6'10" guard that can score at all 3 levels. You can't get that everywhere in the league. That's a thing that every team wants and needs. So he played great. He was getting to the outside. One thing I always like to see is him being aggressive going to the cup, because when you're 19, you don't have, I'm just 20, you don't have the grown man body that a lot of NBA guys have, but he was able to get to his spots pretty much whenever he wanted, and the Warriors threw multiple guys at him. He was still able to get everything he wanted. So it just cements me that he's the wing for this future, for the future of this team, and I just can't wait to see him grow. I'm excited to see what he does rest of this season, because he's gonna keep starting. He should keep starting if Taylor Jenkins doesn't. But I'm not gonna go on that, because we're gonna talk about Taylor Jenkins a little bit later. But yeah, great game. He did all 3 levels. He didn't seem scared of the Warriors, because I know it's not a Memphis thing, but I know a lot of teams, just in the NBA, they still get intimidated by the Warriors, just the championship pedigree and playing in they're not Oracle, where they Chase Arena. They're in Chase Arena now. Just in that atmosphere, some people shrink in those moments, but Gigi Jackson, he welcomed it. He playing. Just think about it. You're playing with your old AAU coach in the NBA. I know that was a big thing for him.
On the
playing
road,
across on the road,
arena.
Crazy. I know that's a big thing for him. Playing against Steph Curry, the dude he probably grew up watching his one of the best players of this generation. Like, come on, man. But he welcomed the moment. He played great. And he's keep doing what he's been doing. I saw a tweet. He's averaging, I think, 21 since becoming a starter. Like, come on, bro. And he's only 19 years old. He hasn't even got he's still learning how to play NBA basketball. So great game by GG, great week by GG, and I can't wait to see what he does rest of the season.
Yeah, man, you covered everything with the game, so I'm gonna just kind of just flip it a little bit. And like I said, this will lead us into our actual first topic or whatever. But I want to talk about some conversation that I had on Twitter about GG. After that game, you can call it hype, you can call it whatever you want to, but I've been talking about GG in this manner the whole season. So it ain't like something that just popped up in my head or something that I just jumped on, after one game. This is something that I have believed damn near since we drafted him, but him like showing what he's showing so fast in the moments that he's showing, it basically just makes me even double down on it even more because like we talked about before, bro, we've been trying to replace the ghost of Rudy Gay for years. Shout out to Rudy Gay. He was in Memphis this past weekend. Shout out to him for coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been chasing the ghost of Rudy Gay past for a long time, bro. And, that's the thing. Like, the NBA is built on big wings. Like, you can have these guards and things like that. And people got mad at Coach Becky Hammond when she came on TV and talked about how, like, small guards, they really don't win like that outside of Isaiah and Steph. But it's the truth, bro.
It's facts, yeah.
Like point two is the leaders of the team. Now, you're going to have guys on the team. Shout out Kyrie. Kyrie won that series, in Cleveland. But the head of the snake was LeBron James. Like, we're not going to act like that ain't true. Because he the one that carried them, to a game. I want to say it was a game 7 the year before by himself without Kevin Love and Kyrie. Like, LeBron, if he's on your team, he's gonna.
He took him to 6 games. Took him to 6 games. He took him to 6, yeah.
Further than what he should have.
Yeah, took him to 6 games, yeah.
Way further than what he should have. This game is just built on big wings, bro. And I, as much as I love Ja, as much as I love Desmond Bane, and I got so much love for Jaren Jackson, we know that this team is gonna go as a big wing takes us as far as getting to a championship. It's just what it is. You can look at the Denver Nuggets as an anomaly in a sense, but you're talking about they got the greatest player in the NBA. You're talking about a guy that is severely underrated in Jamal Murray. Like, he don't get in the conversations of best point guard in the NBA. I don't understand why. Maybe people look at him as a shooting guard, but dude is a cold-hearted killer, especially in the playoffs. You got Michael Porter Jr. He does his thing, but I don't think he's ever going to be the best player on that team. Me personally, he's a big wing, great, but I don't think he's going to be the best player there. So they're a slight anomaly in that sense. But you look down the list: Giannis, Kawhi,
KD,
LeBron. Shit, I mean, they took up so many years of going to the finals and championship with them.
Michael Jordan, Paul Pierce. Well, you can keep going down. It's been bigs. Just the history of NBA, it's been bigs, and then when the 90s, when Jordan and them came, it transitioned to wings.
Yep.
But even before Jordan, it was Magic and Bird. Magic was a guard, but he was 6'9". Like, he's 6'9". So
play 1 through 5.
Yeah, it's like traditionally it's been bigs and wings that have won championships, have been the best players in this league. Like, we've had great guards that have won MVPs or won a lot of games, but only 2, like you said, is Steph and Isaiah. Mm-hmm. That's it. I do slightly, we're not gonna talk about this too long, but I do slightly disagree that I feel like we're gonna go as far as GG takes us. I think Ja Morant is on that talent aspect to be another guard that can win. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I think I'm not saying he's great as Steph and Isaiah right now, but I feel like he's on that trajectory where he can be the best player on the championship team and take us there. That's just my opinion. But everything else you said, I completely agree with.
So let me clear that up. What I mean by where GG takes us, I'm very clear where I stand, and Sane even took it a step further. But I feel like GG is going to be the second option on this team. I still think it's going to be Ja's show. It's Ja, bro. Like, it's almost kind of like the Golden State Warriors thing, where it was Steph and KD. Like, these 1A, 1B, whatever day of the week, whatever time, whatever you feel like swapping them, you can do whatever. But I think it's going to be them to lead it. And probably more so is going to be Ja more times than GG. But I think that it's going to take GG being that second person to get us there. It's going to be him being the person that steps up because he's the mismatch. He's the guy that people are going to have trouble guarding. And just watch his games, bro. When he's locked in, he gets to the rack easier than anybody on his team.
For sure.
Like Desmond, he has to work hella hard to get to the rack, and he's going to be successful at it, but it takes a lot of effort. Josh, same thing. Jaren, same thing. Like he's got to do a lot of moves to get to the rack. Gigi is catching the ball, going straight to the rim, and he's probably going to Euro step you, and that's it. Like it's effortless, bro. And so, you know, I get the whole thing where he's young while we're rushing him and all this stuff, but I talked about this on Twitter, bro. Like, you don't get these players that are like this, and you just staff him on the bench because of he's young. Like, it just don't happen. Jason Tatum, he went number 3, and the Celtics traded back because they probably could have took him number 1.
Yeah,
but they traded back because they knew he would be there because they knew what the Lakers and they knew what the Sixers wanted. Traded back to get him. They had Kyrie at the time. They had Jaylen Brown. They had Gordon Hayward. Like, they were loaded, bro. They were ready to compete, and they still took a big wing who is now the leader of that team 7-8 years later. And he started immediately. You talk about Paul George in Indiana. He was a young wing. He took that team over pretty fast. Kawhi Leonard on a team with the Spurs, with Tim Duncan, Ginobili. Albeit they were kind of on the downshift of their tenure there, he was the one that took over that team as a young guy. And, you know, I brought up Michael Porter Jr. Like, he's not the leader of the Denver Nuggets, bro, but at the same time, he is a young wing that they easily, if you want to use this logic, could have put him on the bench and started somebody else. They could have started Jeff Green or somebody or whoever else they had at the time. No, they put the young wing in there and let him figure it out what his role was going to be with an MVP caliber player. And like I said, a guy that should be in the conversation for best point guard in the NBA, but he's just not for whatever reason. You just don't do that, bro. Like, I get it. We got Vince. I get it. We got Marcus Smart. Love it. But GG Jackson is going to be the guy. So stop trying to like fight against this. It's like we fighting ourselves so much to make this not happen because we want to sound smart when it's so easy. Yeah.
If one plus one equals 2, bro. Like, it's
simple as that. How's he going to play with guys that are better than him and all this stuff? What are you talking about? Like, he putting up, like you said, 21 points a game with Dez and Jaren out there with him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, let's just stop it. It's madness, bro. This team is gonna go as Ja and Gigi take them eventually. But I think it's gonna take some time. I'm on record saying by end of year 3, I think he'll be in that role just because he's gonna work to get his game where it needs to be. But yeah, man, like you said, longer than what I meant to, but I just wanted to get that out because, like, GG is gonna be the guy, bro. Just wait. You wait and see.
I agree. Shout out GG.
Shout out GG, man. Well, we're gonna hit our first break really, really quick, and we'll be back on the other side to talk about this Marcus Smart thing, bro. Twitter is just losing their mind this past weekend about. So we'll catch y'all back in just a second.
Let's operate on the idea that they do win this tournament, get into the field of 68. What does that do to your perception of this year?
Nothing.
But I think winning it would be a soft landing for Penny and like the staff.
Absolutely.
And for everybody, because I think even if they win, for me, it's still a disappointing year. I think a lot of people in this fan base would be like, oh,
they still made it.
They still made it. He did what he promised, right. Yada, yada, yada.
And we know what could have been this year and what ultimately will not be because of the deficiencies that this team had and the way that they were constructed. This is the biggest what if team that
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Sometimes Penny gets questions that I wish Penny would be like, it ain't nothing, man. It wasn't nothing. We're focused on the tournament, whatever. But Penny went into this whole spiel yesterday about a post that he had, basically talking about like stuff not being good enough, and then he gets asked about it. He's like, "Well, man, people, they won't be fired and all these type of things." And I'm like, Penny, like, you literally have been reading Facebook, like, you know what I mean? Like, you literally been reading Facebook, bro. But I don't know what that was last night. Kind of creating an invisible enemy, a pretend enemy of this coalition that wants him fired or whatever. And I'm like, dude, it's all Facebook talk, man. Like, you don't have to be there, Penny. Like, not only does Penny Hardaway not to have to stick his nose in there, I don't really think he is sticking his nose in there. I think people are bringing these things to him.
Absolutely.
And if those people in your circle, you probably need to get those people out of your circle.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And we back. Had a little issue with my screen right there, man. But we back. Welcome back to the No Bluffin podcast. Before you do anything else, before you listen to my voice, even though that don't make sense.
Pause. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing.
My bad. Go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, man. The main page, the No Bluffin podcast, or the No Bluffin Pod, I should say. You got my name. You got both our handles up there. Go ahead and give us a follow, man. Go ahead and give Bluff City Media a follow or subscribe on Twitter. Make sure you do that. As well as follow us on, if you're listening, on any audio platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, man. That way, you get notified when we get the new drops and things like that. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. Getting into the first topic, man, which is talking about Marcus Smart, bro.
Shout out Smart.
What is going on with this discourse, bro? For those
I hate it.
For those that are not on Twitter, it's been a conversation with the emergence of the player Scottie Pippen Jr., which has been great. People have been trying to trade him this past week. It was, talking in the beginning of the season, people were trying to trade him because he wasn't Dylan Brooks or he wasn't this player. We were losing and things like that. But the talk is starting to kind of kick back up again because it's end of season. We bored.
We bored. That's what it is.
We losing. We bored. It's the end of the season. We got about 10 games left, and people don't know what else to talk about. So let's talk about trade Marcus Smart. I know where I stand on it, bro. But just what's your outlook on Marcus Smart, his impact to this team, his importance to this team, and your outlook with him on this team? Is it something that we should look into trading him, or is it something that you like? Look, we need to keep him on this team long term.
I don't see any reason why we should trade Marcus Smart at all. He covers so many bases for this team that we need. Number one, leadership. Besides Bane, because we have both said that we feel like D Bane is the off the court leader for this team. Right. But also Smart, they can be the two-headed monster with being the two leaders for us. You can never, it's never bad thing having more than one leader on the team. You can't have too many, but two isn't a problem. I love that Smart, he held his hand on the defensive end, which we have always been part of our identity, just as Memphis, just as a franchise, not just since Taylor Jenkins has been here, since the John Morant era, since we've always been here. Right. He can play 1 through 3, he can guard 1 through 4. I don't see why people are talking about this. Like, yeah, Scottie Pippen's playing well. He's playing very well right now. And I would love to see him on this team next year, whether it's him or Jordan Goodwin. I prefer Scottie right now, but if we get Jordan Goodwin, that's a whole different conversation. Right. But he just covers so many things for this team that we need. Just having him on the bench, coaching damn near, all that tells a difference. He got a tick what game was it he got a tick? It wasn't last, it was the game before that. He got a tick.
He got thrown out, bro.
He got thrown out the game. Just because talking to him, like, that's the stuff you need on your team. You need that energy. You need that guy that will get thrown out to get his guys going, or that will take a charge or talk smack to whoever. Right. You need that on your team. And yes, he only played 20 games this season, but he was still having a career year with scoring. Like, he still averaged 14.5, which is still his highest scoring averages of his whole career. Right. He was getting, before everything went to crap with 12 getting hurt and him getting hurt, he was playing some of the best basketball of his life. Yes. He was shooting the ball the proper way. He was facilitating right. He was holding his hand on the defensive end again. He was playing great basketball. Yep. And honestly, I feel like, just like Bane, I feel like Smart, I feel like he's been ready to play for maybe the past few. They just don't want to bring him back because there's no point. Right. Right. I honestly think he's okay to play right now. He's healthy. So I am way in the camp of not trading Smart. And my question to everyone else is, what do y'all want in return? What hole in this team that Marcus Smart gives that y'all would want to trade for? Like, what's the package looking like? Is we gonna trade with the pick for like a top, like a top swing wing, or do y'all want a legit big? Like, when people throw out these what else hypotheticals, they don't really think about the other side of it. Right. Yeah, trade Marcus Smart, trade Luke Kennard. What do we want? Like, what do we need? Or what do we want in return? And people don't think about that. Right. I guarantee you, the package we probably give for Marcus Smart, no legit NBA team gonna give us a better package for him. Unless we're just unless it's like a salary dump, he's just like doesn't want to be here. Right. Like his value is high enough, but other teams, his value is high enough for us not to get rid of him, and other teams aren't gonna give up a player that could probably do his job better than him. Right. For us. Right. So I don't really get the discourse, man. I'm totally disagree with people saying we should trade Smart. I feel like he, along with Derrick Rose, if they're on this team, are the veteran leaders we need on this team because you need old heads that's won.
Facts.
Marcus Smart has the most championship experience on this team. He has the most playoff experience on this team.
Yep.
So you can't trade that for the world. So keep Smart on this team. No matter if you start him or come off the bench, you need Marcus Smart or young game changer on this team. And I think he just gets along with the team well. Like he does, bro. They just posted a picture of his birthday party. I can't remember when, his birthday was a few weeks ago, but they just posted a whole video of it. The whole
that was his party?
Yeah, that was his party.
Okay, I didn't know
that was his party. That was his birthday party. The whole crew was there. Everybody suited and booted to the nine. Like he gets along. He seems like a guy that was made to be in Memphis, like wholeheartedly. I see him. We may disagree with you. I see him as just a better version of TA, and I love TA. Is one of my favorite players of all. I love Tony Allen to death, but he's just a modern day version of Tony Allen. And you know how Tony Allen adopted this city and made his city his home. I can see the same thing happen for Marcus Smart. Yep. So keep him on the team. Keep him on the team as much as you can, unless just something just miraculously comes across your desk if you're Zach Kleiman, which I don't see happening.
Me neither.
So keep Smart on the team, bro. But what you think about it?
I'm the same as you, bro. And we talked about this on the podcast before. Like, I'm not a big guy of bringing up problems and not trying to provide a solution. I think just talking about problems all day is just like, what are we doing? Like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Like,
no point.
Yeah. So, like, unless you got some type of solution, then what are we talking about it for? The thing with Smart, like you said, is what's the package? What's the guy you bringing back? You said it perfectly, bro. Like, what are you bringing back? Now, I know our biggest hole is size and rebounding. That's our biggest hole right now. But you name me a guy that's in the NBA right now that has the contract to match what Marcus Smart makes, and it's going to give you ample production to justify you moving him.
It's none, bro.
Most guys that are getting paid in that range are probably a little bit overrated, or you just don't need to pay them that much money. Like,
or the team not gonna give them back. The team not gonna trade them.
Right. Like you throw out the name Jakob Poeltl, right? I wouldn't want him. Me personally, people say he's a good pickup. I wouldn't want him, but tell me why Toronto does that deal.
No reason.
And they have no other center on their team. Like, why would they do that deal?
And Marcus Smart doesn't fit their game, their timeline either. They're building for the future. They're rebuilding. Marcus Smart's 30, I believe, maybe 29, maybe 30.
He in that range. Yeah, 29, 30.
It doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah. So let's throw somebody else out there.
Big man.
You can send him to Portland.
Oh, my bad. Go to Portland. Who's in Portland?
We're gonna come back to Indiana. Send him to Portland, right? It's a rebuilding team. So yeah, you may get Jeremy Grant so that you can slide Jeremy to the 5 and you may feel comfortable with him being the 4. But Jeremy Grant ain't just this amazing rebounder either.
He's not.
And he makes $30 million. So he's actually going to throw something else in there to bring Marcus Smart to Portland.
And also Jeremy Grant is a guy that he works best when the ball's in his hands. And that's taking touches away from Gigi. We got Gigi. We got 12. We got this. One thing great about Smart, he doesn't need the ball in his hands to affect the game.
Yep.
He can be a catch and shoot guy when he's on, and he can facilitate the offense, or he can just spark offense, getting turnovers, just making plays.
Mm-hmm.
That was Miles Turner. Will Miles Turner help for this team? Yes, but you're fleecing Indiana because they also have limit in size. Miles Turner's are only really too big on that team. So
and he's Jaren 2.0, bro. Like Jaren, he don't rebound that great, and he's on the wing.
Yes, he's basically another Jaren. They both defend the rim. They both play from the outside. So for Twitter or whoever's listening to this podcast, what do y'all want? Like, you can't just it's not Bilderberg. You can't just make an NBA player out of thin air to fit your criteria. You have to talk about contracts, fit, scheme, all that type of stuff. Yep. And Marcus Smart fits all of those things. He's a guy you can take up and put him on damn near any NBA team, and he can affect that game and he can affect that team.
Right.
We have that player on our teams. Why would you take someone out that can do so many things for you? Marcus Smart, in my opinion, I probably think about he's probably like in the top 5 most valuable guys in this. Maybe 4. Honestly, maybe 3 when I really think about like valuable. But outside Ja, Gigi, and Smart, I'll put Smart is the 3rd most valuable guy. That's just my opinion. I don't know where you sit on that, but I put him as my third most valuable guy because he brings so much on the court and off. He has so many intangibles that you just don't find in the league.
Yeah, that's true.
So don't trade Smart at all. In any circumstances, do not trade Smart unless you get like a certified star in return.
It's got to be an amazing deal, bro. Like, my first option would be to throw Luke Kennard in this deal. But we talked about it before. Like, if Brooklyn finally just says, you know what, we messed up. We should have took them 4 or 5 picks a couple years ago. We'll take your first round top 5 pick this year. You give us Smart and maybe some fillers or whatever. I got to think about that.
That's the only document thing for getting Mikal Bridges. That's probably the only player I can really think of that I would entertain getting Smart. Even though the contracts don't match, you have to, like you said, throw some picks in there or throw another guy like Luke in there. Mikal Bridges, that's he's kind of more. He defends just as good as Smart. He scores better than Smart. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't do things with the ball as good as Smart, just in my opinion. But
he's cool. But the thing is, he's not the leader Smart is.
That's true. He's not the leader Smart is. And we need that. What have we been talking about the past few years? Maturity and leadership. Yeah, maturity and leadership. Ain't gonna get rid of our leader. Yeah, D Rose could be the leader on the bench. He could be another Udonis Haslam. Of course,
is different.
That sounds disrespectful to put Derrick Rose and Udonis Haslam in the same sentence right now. But that's kind of where it's going right now. So why get rid of the guy that's your leader that say he likes being, he wants to be here. He wants to win here. Right. Why trade a guy that wants he is verbalized? He likes Memphis. He likes his team. And you can see his passion when he's on the bench and how it was different. He was clocked out, not saying nothing, arms folded. He's engaged in these games. He's sweating just like Gigi. Right. Like Trey Jemison. Like he's sweating like them.
Look, sweating harder than Taylor Jenkins.
Let's get into it.
Hold on. We almost there.
He been teasing this whole time, bro. We gotta get to it, fam.
Look, man. The two things that I hear or see the most about the trade Marcus Smart, the one is the dumbest one to me. Other teams may want somebody like him to help them. Contending teams want a player like him.
Oh, I did see you tweet this. I saw you tweet this, yeah.
That's the dumbest thing to me. Because it's like,
what are we doing? What
are the Grizzlies doing next year? Like, are we rebuilding?
We're contending. No, we're not rebuilding. Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
People think because we bad this year, we just gonna be bad. No, next year we're gonna be in the top of the Western Conference again. We're gonna be contending for a championship again.
And don't let us be healthy. We're winning. I'm telling you right now.
What day
March
is it?
25th.
March 25th.
Monday, March 25th. I'm telling y'all right now, if the Grizzlies are healthy and Taylor Jenkins don't mess it up, I keep getting to the last topic. But if that happens, bro, they're winning the championship with that team.
Straight like that.
Ja Morant, Desmond Bane. I said last week I would start GG Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be up to him to show what he needs to show this offseason to make that a conversation. But let's say you throw Vince out there. Ja Dez, Vince, Jaren, insert center. Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, GG Jackson, BC
Brandon Clark.
Santi, take your pick, and a backup center.
Or maybe
a better 10.
Or maybe Scottie Pippen if you want to keep him on for a backup for another backup.
Man, let that man stay on his two-way. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, because you got 50 games with him. Like, so if D Rose is hurt, he got 50 games to play next year.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like that 10, you just give me that 10. I ain't even throw in D Rose. He's riding the bench, just coaching, wearing his fresh ass Adidas outfits and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Training PJ before the game on the FedEx Forum floor. Like, I'm cool with all that. You name me a better 10 than that.
You can't.
But what are we talking about?
Not in the West. Not in the West for sure. The only 10 I can make is Boston. Maybe you go with Boston shot for
not
shot.
10.
Not 10. Nah, not 10. They can't.
Boston they got a cold ass top 6. Top 7, maybe.
Yeah, they got like set. They can go maybe 8 deep. Maybe not them 10 though. Nah, not 10.
Come on, bro. Like, what do we even like for real, bro? What we talking? And we like Denver. We compare ourselves to Denver. Denver ain't got a better top 10 than that. Yeah, they got a better top player.
They top heavy. They top heavy, bro.
Murray and Jokic.
They account for a lot.
Mike Malone puts them in position, and we gonna talk about that in the next subject. I promise. We getting there. I promise. It's so much to this, but yes, bro. Nobody's beating that team. So the thing is, the second thing is people talking about he's not gonna want to come off the bench. They don't want him to start. I get that. I wanted to see him start next to Ja this year just to see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to talk about this because I watched the game over the weekend where I actually watched the last 3 games that he played. But the one that stuck out to me the most was the last game where he played with Ja, which was the LA Lakers game.
Yeah.
Bro, them dudes was out there like
Hooping.
this one thing that what you said was so key. Him like coaching from the sideline is amazing.
It's amazing to watch.
But when he got out there with them guys, directing them, lifting them up, telling them where they need to go, motivating them to like make plays, he's out there making plays, getting on the ground. Like him being out there with them was a total different thing. It's like I ain't just talking no more. I'm out here with y'all. We in the trenches, like for real.
And you see that the fact that you can see. I think Marcus Smart is one of probably the most smartest players in the league. Like, of course, it's hard to rank IQ, but I think he's one of the most smartest players.
He's smart.
It's different. It's different when you say it, but now like he's orchestrating the offense and orchestrating the defense, putting guys in the best position. Like you see
in real time,
in real time coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trade that, bro. You cannot trade that. When Smart, Dez, and Ja was on the floor, they looked great together.
Bro, go back and watch that. You ain't even gotta go watch the whole game. Go to YouTube and just type in January 5th, Memphis Grizzlies versus Lakers, and just watch the 10-minute highlight. You ain't even gotta watch the full game like I did. Bro, the fit. let me let you know what happened with this game. They won it, obviously. Of course, because everybody was shooting. We went crazy from 3 from that game. Everybody was scorching from 3 that game. Bro, guess who was in that rotation in that game at that time? Tell him. I know who it was, but tell him. Zaire Williams was a mainstay in that rotation at that time. And this is bad Zaire. This wasn't the last few games that we saw of Zaire before he got injured. Yeah. No, this was bad Zaire was in the rotation at this time. David Roddy playing go to hell ball because he's sick of being out there with these Bismack Biyombo was in the rotation at this
yes,
time.
He was.
With his brick hands, high stepping ass. Xavier Tillman was in the rotation at this time. Yes, he was. Man, Love X. I love X. This is an X fan club over here. We love having them back. But X was in the rotation at the time. I think I may have saw a little Jitty, but that was about it. Jit was in the lineup for sure. Bro, think about the names that I did not say. I did not say GG Jackson was in the rotation at that time. No, you did not. I did not say Vince Williams was in the rotation. He took that game off because I think he was still on the 2-way at that time. He was trying to save games. He was. Because he played the very next game after that. Vince wasn't in the rotation. Lamar Stevens was not on the team. He was not. He's my pick for 11th man next year. He wasn't on the team. Who else wasn't on it? That's it. I ain't even got to say nobody else. Really? Yeah. Honestly, I really don't. Oh, BC. Sorry. BC. He is the worst dresser on the team, bro. I know we can talk about that later on. He was dressing like a vampire, bro. You seen like the Brood? You seen the Brood with like old Edge and Christian, like 90s wrestler? He like a wrestler. He dressed just like them, bro. Dressed just like them, fool. Why is he dressing like Jeff Hardy in 2024, bro? For real, though, that's how he dressed, bro. Bro, son, his stylist get Trip needs to give BC his stylist number. Cause Trip give BC your stylist number. Cause that baby dressing like he be trying to go to a Yeezy's fashion show, and it's not working, my dog. It's not working. But back to Chris's point, like that lineup, the people on the floor was not the rotation that we just listed. No, but it was still working probably because who was on the floor leading that lineup? Marcus Smart. And then the closing lineup when Smart, because I think Zaire closed that game. Or Biz, I can't remember. But just the lineup with Jaren, Smart, Dez, and Ja, those 4 on the floor together. Let's discount GG and Vince being that 5th person. Right. Those 4 on together worked so good together. It only brought a tear to my that both games against New Orleans they played. They all worked great together. Like that 9 games that Ja was back when everyone was damn near healthy. It was some of the best stretch of Grizzlies basketball I've seen in a very long time. Yes, sir. Because who's that gonna get better? Yes, because who's that coach on? Okay, I'm hinting it. Who's the coach on the floor though? Young Game Changer 36. Yes, sir. So please, Grizz Twitter, Grizz social media, Grizz fans all around, listen to what we are saying. Please. This team, the championship ceiling for this team, part of that why it's so high is because Marcus Smart is on this team. He's not the main reason. But part of the reason why it's championship ceiling, we have championship aspirations next season, is because young Game Changer 36 from Oklahoma State, yes, sir, is on this team. Yes, sir. If people start realizing that, then we'll be getting somewhere. and this is the last one we'll talk about, the whole thing with he's not gonna want to come off the bench. First of all,
I don't think that's the thing,
bro. Marcus Smart has come off the bench before. Number one.
Yes, he has.
Behind a all NBA point guard. He's done it before.
Yep. He didn't start with Kyrie. He didn't start with Kyrie.
He did not start. He wants to win because I'm gonna tell you what, when you get to the finals, bro, it's like crack. I ain't never tried crack, but I heard about the effects.
He gonna talk about it. Keep moving.
But it's like crack, bro. Like he wants to get back to get that feeling again. Number one, to actually win it all. You tell me right now, what team do you trade Marcus Smart to today that gets him closer to that outside of going back to Boston?
Nope.
Lakers, no.
No.
Denver Nuggets don't want him. They don't need him. Dallas Mavericks, no. The Pelicans, no.
Miami, no.
Miami, I could talk myself into that.
Maybe.
But sorry, Marcus Smart, Jimmy Butler, and Bam they ain't beating nobody.
That's not. And that's not spacing either. That's terrible spacing on the floor, regardless. Horrible spacing.
Who else we got? Minnesota. No, they're not doing that.
No.
They're not doing that.
OKC, no.
They're not doing that.
No.
We keep going.
We can go all the top teams in the West and the East. It's not the position that we are right now is probably the best chance that Marcus Smart has to win a championship outside of Denver, like you said. But Denver don't want. They already won a chip.
They got a chip. Yeah.
We are in the best position besides Boston, like we said. We are in the best position, and maybe Milwaukee, but they have Drew Holiday, so there's no point of having Marcus Smart. They have Drew Holiday.
Well, they ain't got him. Remember he in Boston.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
Though.
Yeah, they got Dame. Yeah, I forgot the trade. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
but it's no point. So in the best, just speaking, if Marcus Smart is listening, your best. He knows this. He knows
this, bro.
He's not stupid. He knows this. Your best chance of winning a championship or at least getting to the finals is in a Memphis Grizzlies uniform.
As a six-man,
playing
25 minutes per game. Look, this is what's going to help him. It's going to preserve his body, bro, because he's not going to be getting injured like he has in the past playing less minutes. He's going to have a longer career because he's going to be playing less minutes. He's going to probably squeeze out another contract or two with the Grizzlies because he's playing less minutes. And he's, on top of all of that, going to be competing for a freaking championship every single year with this squad. What's the lose in that?
But also, for people, let's make this clear to everybody. We say he's probably not going to start, but he's in the closing lineup. Let's make that distinction now. Because Chris didn't say it, but I already know where he's in.
You know where I was going, yeah.
We're not saying start 6 man is like he's not getting a lot of minutes. He's getting 25, 30 minutes a game, but he's closing the game. The closing lineup, I'm telling you right now, is going to be Ja, Tripp, Dez, Smart, and Charger maybe GG or Smart and Tripp. GG and Smart, they probably
maybe Vince. It's going to be interchangeable.
It depends on the lineup. It's gonna be the 4 with it's gonna be 3 with Ja, Dez, and Tripp. GG for sure, because he's gonna need to close and either Smart or Vince. I don't think Smart's gonna be mad at that because more times out of not, and just again this matchup, I would think probably Smart would close more games than Vince because Smart can facilitate the best another ball handler on the floor. And you can let Ja and Dez just go and just play off the ball and just attack. And that's when they play their best basketball, when Ja and Dez just in attack mode, when Ja don't have to worry about being a point guard. We've seen that. So honestly, I feel like that's gonna be the closing lineup with Ja, Dez, Tripp, GG, and Smart. Have Smart running the one, running the one,
bro.
If Taylor Jenkins understand it, but we
can you imagine other team's best player having to get guarded the whole night by Marcus Smart?
Vince Williams.
When he come out, Vince Williams. And
then he go to
when Vince, no. When Vince come out, you got Lamar Stevens crazy ass. And
you don't care about his life.
If you get past them, then you got Tripp coming over the top of the block and shit. Bro, and then we don't even know who X center or centers is gonna be. We don't know who that is. They could be defensive stoppers.
And Dez can sit down on defense too. Dez ain't no slouch on defense either.
He's not a slouch, bro. Especially when it's time to compete.
The only defensive, and I don't think 12 is a liability. The only weak defender in that lineup is Ja, but he's not a weak defender. He's not a terrible defender. That's the whole thing. People be thinking that 12 is a bad defender. He's not a bad defender. With that 6 or 7 we just named, yes, offensively, yes, they can all fill it up and have their own roles. But on the other side of the ball, they can all sit down on stuff on defense. They can rotate. They can switch. And okay, we're gonna talk about it. One thing I hate about Taylor Jenkins, we switch everything, but that lineup right there, we can't
switch. Bro, go back to the New Orleans Pelicans game when they played together.
They switched
Marcus
everything.
Smart had Ja on a string on defense. I had never seen Ja play defense.
He
like
was
that.
engaged. He was so
bro.
engaged on defense. He
You
was
don't
like
trade that.
his intent, his effect on the game goes outside the stat sheet. People think because he's not average, he's not putting up 15, 20, 25 points a game, he's not affecting the game. He affects the game in so many positive ways that next year y'all are gonna see the impact he has on the floor. He's gonna be the leader outside of Dez. Now, honestly, I feel like he's gonna take over Dez when they play together because he's older, he's more experienced. Not knocking on Dez at all. That's just how I think the situation is gonna go if they decipher the minutes correctly. He's gonna be one of the keys of our championship. Him and Gigi, outside of Ja, are the most valuable guys on this team. They're gonna be the keys of our championship team. As long as Taylor Jenkins don't mess it up, we feel like we're finna get into it. But Smart on this team makes this team a legit contender.
100%.
And that's stamp that. You feel me?
It really ain't even much else to say, honestly, because it's like what are we talking about? For everything we just said, if you didn't hear it, just run it back. But yeah,
Run it back.
That's all I got to say on that. I was gonna take a commercial break. But we're gonna get into it because we a little bit lengthy on time, bro. Because we got to talk about this.
We got to.
We have to, bro. It's the great debate. It's a great debate. Taylor Jenkins.
Let's get to it. We've been hinting at this for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I know this is very passionate to my dear friend Chris Ingram. He been wanting to talk about it. So I'm gonna just let him cook before I give because I feel like we gonna be different on this a little bit.
No. OG No Bluffin listeners know how I give it up about Taylor Jenkins. Number one. So the floor is yours, my brother. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? What are your what do you see in Taylor Jenkins, good or bad? And this question is for the room, man. Well, first of all, before we do that, if you haven't already, we had this ticker down here. We want y'all to comment, man. Should the Grizzlies trade or look to trade Marcus Smart this offseason? Let us know in the comments below how you feel about that. With this Taylor Jenkins thing, as we talk this through, man, we want y'all to give us your opinion. Is Taylor Jenkins a championship level coach? Yes or no? And your reasons why. Let us know in the comments. But I'm gonna let you cook, bro, because they know how I feel. And it's gonna get even more worse because of what we're gonna talk about. So go ahead.
Is Taylor Jenkins a championship coach? That is the question. And my question is yes. I feel like he's an average coach. So I think he's a good enough coach to be able to win a championship. And because the reason, and I know if y'all looking at Chris right now, he's finna pop off right now. The reason I say that because our talent is so great, I feel like that can make up for his deficiencies as a coach. I feel like he's good. I feel like worse coaches than Taylor Jenkins have won championship. He said, "What's happening?" I feel like that's why I say we go different on this. I feel like worse coaches than Taylor Jenkins have won championship. I feel like Frank Vogel, he's a decent coach. I feel like he's a decent coach, but he won a championship. You know, we can go down the list like Mike, exactly talent. Mike Budenholzer, I feel like is an okay coach. Again, that's proof my point. That team had enough talent to make up for the coach deficiencies. We have that enough talent, and let's talk about this. Okay, because I got a few stats. Number one, Taylor Jenkins is the second longest tenured Grizzly coach ever. He has played 5 seasons. Lionel Hollins is number 1 with 7. He has to tie for the second best winningest percentage in Grizzlies history. He is second behind David Yeager and tied with Mike Fratello. And this is as, of course, we'll see the rest of the season goes. But it's currently constructed as we were recording. It's just going to come out Monday. But we were recording on March 24th. So he is the second most winningest coach in Grizzlies history. He is also has gone to the playoffs 3 times, tied with Lionel Hollins for the most times in the playoffs. However, his playoff record is 9-14 in the playoffs. Lionel's record was 18-17. Lionel he took us to more. I'm not trying to make this a Lionel versus Taylor Jenkins debate, but I'm just giving perspective of what we've had with coaches. Because one of my points is switching coaches all the time is not a good recipe for success. In the recipe of not just basketball, team sports, if a team has a revolving door of coaches, what is that? It doesn't build chemistry, it doesn't bring camaraderie, it doesn't bring culture within this team. Despite, and I'm gonna get to the bad thing, I'm getting to the positives first. Despite Taylor Jenkins' shortcomings, I feel like he has created or helped create a good culture with this team. The team likes each other. I feel like he believes in his players, whether that can be a good thing or bad thing, because I feel like he believes in dudes a little bit too much, because I believe he believes in Jake LaRavia a little too much. So that can be a good or bad thing, but you want to, every player wants, from any sport, wants a coach to believe in him. So on that aspect, I feel like it's good. And also, since he's been there, Grizzlies have consistently been one of the best defensive teams in the league. In the past 5 seasons, he's been there for 5 seasons. They've have an average team ranking of 5 in steals and blocks, and opponent field goal percentage. Great defensively coach. And I feel like a lot of great coaches, championship level coaches, most of great championship teams have been good defensive teams. You with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Bro.
All of that is cool. His shortcomings offensively, his rotations, and like I said, belief in guys, his substitution / rotations and belief in guys, I feel like it's too much. And we have an average rank since 16 years of 17 in turnovers. We also have an average rank of 18 in shoot and field goal percentage since he's been here. So those just 2 things. We turn the ball over a little too much under Taylor Jenkins. And also, we don't shoot the ball well under Taylor Jenkins. And you can maybe say that's a personality issue, but I think that's a scheme thing. So, do I think he's a great coach? No. Do I think he's an average coach? Yes. And I feel like if he puts the people in the right positions, I feel like he can be the coach to lead us to a championship. Because I don't see the front office replace him. I just don't. I don't see Zach Kleiman or who's on, not Robert. Robert Perez still the owner. Yeah, I don't see Robert Perez replacing him. I know you asked me before if I see a coach replacement, who do I don't think we're gonna replace him. But the only coach that I would like to see if in fantasy world is Mike Brown. I feel like Mike Brown is a great coach, honestly. And I feel like us and the Kings, we're better than the Kings talent. I feel like we have kind of like the same personnel. We have an exciting young guard. We have a big man that can play inside out. We have Sabonis, and if people don't know, Sabonis and Tripp and Fox and 12. We have a defensive guard that can play both Davion Mitchell and Marcus Smart. They have young wings. We have Keegan Murray and Gigi Jackson. Kevin Huerter, a shooter. We have Luke Kennard, a shooter. But you see how Mike Brown has elevated that team and into that he ended that long playoff drought. And the reason why I want to keep him simply because if you keep Mike Brown isn't out and Chris is finna blow up on me. And I feel like I'm giving a good point. I feel like he's just finna chew my stuff out. But the main reason why I feel like because rotating coaches does not have a good effect on teams. Because I don't like that Taylor Jenkins has like, oh, he's a player's coach. I feel like I don't like he's a player's friend. I don't like that about Taylor Jenkins. I feel like he's a little too lenient. I feel like he doesn't discipline his players. I'm not saying like discipline is like you're in trouble, but like I mean like on the court. Sometimes the team doesn't play discipline on the court, and I don't like that about Jenkins. I'm not saying Jenkins is a great coach. He has some shortcomings. I feel like sometimes he needs to stop being their friend, start being their coach. You know, because we talked about a few podcasts later. A lot of guys say he just let us hoop. I don't think that's the best way for guys to win a championship. Yeah, that's good to win some good regular season games. But the best, if you hear stories from the best players of all time, the best teams, they say, yeah, coach was on our ass a lot. He chewed us out. I'm not saying you got to yell, but it's a certain standard, it's a certain side of discipline and respect that a great coach demands. And I feel like that's where Taylor Jenkins comes short. But the question, do I feel like we should get rid of him? No. And I'm gonna let that's my soliloquy. I know Chris finna pick it apart like he Tom Brady in the playoffs with a 2-minute drill. But that's my take. That's just me. I'm gonna let you cook. And your response to that.
Before I go, I just want to clarify your answer to the question on the ticker. And we want you guys that are watching or listening. If you're listening, come on over to YouTube. But if you're watching, drop a comment below. Let us know how you feel about it. Taylor Jenkins is a championship level coach. And if you want to give why not, drop that in there too. Evan, your final answer is Taylor Jenkins a championship level coach?
Yes.
All right. You said 2-minute drill. I'm gonna try to make this quick.
And that's only because the talent we have. But let me stop.
That is exactly why I say he's not. If you have to have the best talent in the NBA to drag you across the finish line, doesn't make you a good coach. Doesn't make you a championship level coach. And it's been done, but everybody, like you were saying, and this is my argument for LeBron, like when people compare him to Jordan in championships and stuff like that, LeBron dragged his teams to 10 NBA finals, or was it 9? He dragged his team to these finals, bro. If you give him a championship level coach like Jordan and like Kobe had, we're having a different conversation. A lot of the stuff that we saw was LeBron go get a bucket. It's mirroring, sorry, y'all. It's mirroring the same stuff with Ja. Like freaking Mike Black got to a finals, and we've never heard of him since. Like, bro, Eric Spoelstra. I think him being with the Miami Heat is a great thing. They have a great culture down there. If Eric Spoelstra is a first-year coach with any other team in the league at that time and doesn't get to ride the coattails of the big three to 4 straight NBA finals, is he the coach in the Miami Heat system right now? Probably not, bro. Like, I get tired of players dragging coaches' careers. Like, we got to see Luke Walton was a terrible freaking coach. Like, he walked into a system that Steve Kerr, that's a whole different conversation, because I say Mark Jackson actually created that coach.
Yeah, Mark Jackson definitely did, but yeah, for sure.
Ooh, give me 1 second, man, because my whatever. Excuse me, my bad.
You good?
But Mark, I feel like he created that culture, and Steve Kerr came in and made needed adjustments. I do give Steve, like, people can say he took over the team, and he did. He had to make the adjustment to put Draymond in the starting lineup due to, obviously, David Lee had the injury, but he could have put Draymond back on the bench. He made the decision to put Andre Iguodala, i.e. the situation we still talking to right now with Marcus Smart, put Iguodala on the bench and be that 6 man, that Swiss Army knife, the guy that's going to be able to make the most difference for us there. The same conversation, and that was the last point I wanted to say on the last topic. That conversation needs to happen with Marcus. Like, this is what we're looking for you to do, B.I. Iguodala. But he was the one that made that decision, bro. You put Luke Walton in that situation, looks fine. He goes out there and is a terrible coach. Now he's gotten 2 opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, with the Kings and the Lakers, I want to say.
Yes, he has.
And he ain't nowhere to be found no more. I don't even know if he's on anybody's bench.
I think he is. I can't remember, though. I may be wrong, though.
So, like, if we got to give you, like, if Ja Morant if he doesn't fall into Taylor Jenkins' lap 5 years ago, is he the Grizzly coach right now? Does he have the record that he has right now? Come on, bro. Nothing that I've seen shows me that to be true. You talk about the defense. I give him that. He probably is a defensive guru. They have had a top defense a lot throughout his tenure. You also had a DPOI on your team. You also had a Dylan Brooks that was picking up, almost playing a defensive scheme of his own, which I would love for the guys to do on their own on the offensive end too, which is really actually what they do. But you've had 2 of those guys. Like, I can't stand Dylan Brooks' guts, but I mean, the fact is a fact. Like, he was a great defensive player. He is a great defensive player because he plays with hustle. He plays with heart. He plays with those intangibles that you want. But you have Tripp behind him. What are they supposed to do with it? Of course, you're going to have a great defense. And then now you're blessed with Marcus Smart, Vince Williams, and like I said, hopefully Lamar Stevens and other guys that are going to be able to compete. Your defense is going to be fine. Where you lack it the most is offensive development and offensive scheme. You tell me which player has developed offensively. Give me a player. I talked about this on the show before, so I won't go down the whole soliloquy that I had. But you name me what player that has developed offensively up under Jenkins. BC guy here ain't developed no offensive game. Ja has been Ja, but Ja has just developed at a better pace than what Ja came in. He's just a better Ja. Like, he ain't developed much different than what he came in doing offensively. Bane, go watch Bane at TCU. Bane was an all-around player at TCU. We brought him in because his shooting numbers were so high that he was just going to be this shooter. But I can't give that credit to Taylor Jenkins. If you go watch his tape, he played a lot of point guard for TCU. So it's like one of those things where Jaren, don't even get me started on Jaren. I keep hearing every exit interview that Jaren has got this long laundry list of things that Taylor Jenkins done gave him to work on, and he come back looking like the same damn player every year. Outside of certain things like his aggressiveness that we're seeing, or them getting out the way, and them just basically force feeding him with the ball. But what have you seen from him growing offensively in his 6th year that you didn't see in year 1? I saw Jaren with a post game year 1. I saw that. I saw him shooting threes year 1. Only thing that I can say that I've seen grow is his handle, but he's always prided himself on being a big guard. Like, go back and watch his Instagram. He's always called himself a big guard. So he probably been dribbling and doing all this stuff his whole life. They're trying to force him into being a Giannis type player at this point, but I don't even know if that's productive. He can do it in spurts. And we saw him had a game winner the other night against the Spurs, but he's 7 foot, bro. He's 7 foot and he's trailing the play. There's no accountability with Jaren. People got upset that, shout out to Coach Vontae, he put a video out and he was just pointing out the fact that when they played the Timberwolves, I want to say it was the last time they played the Timberwolves, he went head up the whole night with them two like he did the game before when he played them. And at the end, it's like a minute left and it was a bad shot. He just kept shooting just lazy-ass threes. It was no offensive development. And then he runs down on the court, and instead of trying to contest, he just let the dude fly and get a dunk. Like, and Santi Aldama actually ran past him to try to contest it. As a coach, that shit you just don't let fly, bro. I don't care there's a lost season. We building winning habits for next year when we got our full arsenal. And when the guys that are coming up behind you look at you as a leader, whether you are a vocal leader or not, they're watching how you move. I can't let that fly. Pop would be losing his shit if he saw that one of his play. Look how many timeouts Pop was calling the other night when they played. And they're probably top 1, 2 of getting the top pick in the draft. Like, it's certain stuff that's why I can't buy the excuses with Taylor Jenkins, bro. We give him too many excuses with stuff that he's getting paid. We don't even know his salary, but he's getting paid a lot of money to do coaching stuff. It's not up to me to tell him what to do. Like, but it's clear that he doesn't know what he's doing in certain things. There's no reason why Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson don't have a 2-man game of some sort. Why do they not? A big and a small. These play groups. What the hell are y'all doing in play groups? Like, I ain't never heard no other coach talk about play groups. Define what a play group is, because I'm sick of hearing about it. Like, it's all these cute terms, vitamins and all. Like, he got all these terms, bro, but it ain't leading to nothing, really, honestly. So that's my thing. Like, GG Jackson, his development didn't come from Taylor Jenkins. It came from Anthony Carter.
Yeah, the crew with the hustle too. Yeah,
and Jason March, like Vince Williams, the hustle. Like, you force feeding us Zaire and Jake LaRavia and David Roddy. Like, no. Them dudes down there getting their work in. Like, no, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if for everything that you were saying, like, he's an average coach. That's not a championship level coach to me. If you got to have a top tier roster just to get over the hump, you're not a championship level coach to me. If you have to, every time win a close game, the only play that you got in your whatever pamphlet in the back of your pocket and them tight ass slacks is Jago get a bucket. You're not a championship level coach. Yeah, bro. Like that. And they had the nerve to call Jaren.
They said call 13.
Yeah, like that.
That was funny. That was because we was texting, and that's one thing I didn't mention. I do think his late game situation is terrible. I wish I could show y'all the text. I was like, bro, because first I text you because I was like, Scottie Pippen threw that ball away. And I was like, what is he doing? And he was like, they just started tanking. But then I was like, all right, let's see. I text you. I said, let's see what they finna do in this out of bounds play. He said, not nothing. He didn't say, I ain't gonna say what word he said, but. And I said, wow, they just said call 13. He was like, I told you, bro. He said, I'm gonna be on your ass on Sunday because of that. And everything you said, bro, I can't even argue with you, fam. Like,
it's lazy, bro.
Evan, I can't even argue with you,
bro.
If
we are in game 7 in the NBA finals and we need a play to win the game, you mean to tell me you're gonna call 12 or call 13 or call 22? That's lazy scheming, fam. And if you're talking about scheme, I want to touch on this and I'm gonna let you finish because I'm honestly through. You talk about the scheme, and I saw a tweet go out this last week talking about how the Grizzlies are like basically middle in the pack as far as shot quality in the NBA. And so you got people that are, Taylor Jenkins supporters talking about, well, it shows the Taylor Jenkins offense is generating, a good amount of high percentage shots. It's because these folks know, just like we was doing at the beginning of the season, just letting everybody take free 3-pointers, wasn't contesting, wasn't defending. They know half of the time we ain't gonna make them, so they're letting us shoot them.
Yeah, I think
go watch the offense, bro. Go watch the offense. We not running no plays like that. So how can you say the offense is getting that when dudes is just dribbling and passing? They're just dribbling, and doing some it's not even an offense. He's just letting them play. I don't trust that dude when we get into a finals matchup with anybody to get us over the hump, bro. And that's why. Go ahead, bro. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. No, I was just gonna say I don't really disagree with a lot of stuff you said. Like, I don't honestly. That's my thing. I don't really understand. So you're saying, and I agree with everything most things you say. So who would you like to have? Like, what type of guy, or who would you like to have a Taylor Jenkins? Because do you honestly think, and this is honestly a real question, if Taylor Jenkins isn't the coach next year, do you see a guy coming in and still elevating this team to a championship? Do you think it's going to be a Tyronn Lue, David Blatt situation where a guy can come in just off the bench and just put us directly to the championship? Or do you think it's kind of start the process over again? That's what I want to hear from you. Like, who, and do you think it'll mess up the camaraderie if Jenkins isn't the coach?
Question: did it mess up the Boston Celtics?
Because they went from Joe Mazzulla. No, they got Joe Mazzulla now. Who's the dude who cheated on Nia Long?
They went from Brad Stevens, who had been there for years. They've just walked into a coaching job after coaching Gordon Hayward and Butler.
Yeah.
He been there, couldn't get him over the hump. And the very first year, you go hire a guy that really know ball.
He made
the finals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about if you go get the right guy. Like, you can't go get another Taylor Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not to say a first year guy. I'm not talking about that. Just go get another type of guy. And I'm with you. Like, this is the same stuff we were talking about earlier. If I'm gonna give you a problem, I'm gonna give you a solution. Me personally, I would love Phil Handy. He's one of the best conversationalists and relationship builders in the NBA. He's developed a lot of NBA players. But
is he an X and O's guy though? I know he's a great player development though. He's a
ball player, fam. Taylor Jenkins ain't played YMCA ball. What are we talking about?
But you can say that, but just every time a player was a great player, or don't mean he's gonna change to be a good coach. We saw that with Steve Nash. Steve Nash, one of the greatest basketball minds ever, and he didn't credit Larry Bird.
Was he?
Well, he had a very good high for a point guard. He was a 50.
He had a lot of assists. He got 2 MVPs. He shouldn't have got.
Yeah, he shouldn't have got them. Like, well, okay, Larry Bird was a coach. Larry Bird was a decent coach.
Larry Bird's an asshole.
Okay. What's Chauncey Smith doing right now? Chauncey Smith looks like, hey, he's a good coach.
He has one of the most shit rosters in the NBA.
I'm trying to think. Okay, it's been examples. Isaiah Thomas was a coach, and he didn't do anything great.
I can't give you on that. I know he was a coach, but I don't know his situation, so I can't tell you on that one.
Yeah, but
not all of them work out. Phil Handy wasn't really. I don't think he went pro in the NBA though.
No, he didn't.
I'm talking about just more so being able to communicate and reach these dudes at a level that Taylor can't reach them. He's a substitute teacher, bro. We agree on that.
Substitute teacher is insane, but yeah,
that's what he is. Like, he's the cool guy. When he come in the room, we know we chilling. We gonna roll the TV in. We gonna watch some sports or something. Like, may have a pizza party. Like, he cool, but he's not gonna reach them on the same level that a Phil Handy. And he's not. He can't develop offensively like Phil Handy. Phil Handy has helped, like Kyrie. Like, we're talking about one of the best basketball players of all time, bro. Like, he can reach in a certain kind of way. If it ain't Phil, cool. I like Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
I like him.
That's a name I didn't think of, but yeah, he's a good coach.
He got Brooklyn to compete with a level of just a bunch of role player guys at the time. You can call D-Lo whatever, but D-Lo was D-Lo. He ain't no
D-Lo's the best player on that team, and he took them boys to the
yeah,
playoffs,
bro. Yeah. He's under a championship coach with Steve Kerr. He got some stuff that he can bring. If it ain't him, my final guy would be Sam Cassell. You want to know why? He's coached high-level guys. And one thing that Sam Cassell is going to do, he going to hold somebody accountable. He going to cuss your ass out. That's what Ja Morant need. That's what Jaren Jackson need.
Who the Sam Cassell coach? Like, what team did he? I can't remember what team.
Right now, he's with the Celtics right now, but he
that's what I thought. Yeah,
the Sixers before that, and I think he was somebody before that as well. So he's coached, stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he was telling James Harden, like, fam, like, no, you're gonna do stuff my way. Like, you're not gonna come in here and just, do
Play
whatever.
James Harden ball. Yeah. It's my system.
And it's James Harden we talking about. If he can do that to James Harden, you think he can't reach Ja Morant? Like, Ja Morant really cares about basketball. Talk your ass off about what he do, whatever, but like he cares about winning. James Harden care about money and women. So it's different. But like them would be my three. So like I got answers. Like yes, you can bring somebody in here, switch up the offense, develop a pecking order, and we gonna roll the ball out and we got a championship next year. It ain't gonna be none of this political ball where we gonna start Marcus Smart and we ain't gonna even had a conversation about bringing him off the bench because he's Marcus Smart. No, I guarantee you Sam Cassell and Phil Handy had that conversation. Probably even Kenny. Taylor Jenkins,
you're skeptical. You're skeptical to see what
you didn't do it with Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
I got no proof that you would do it. So go ahead, bro. That's it. That's all I got. I rest my case.
No, and we can probably leave it there, man. Like I don't think I brought anything bad, but I think you got me on this one. I can tip my hat on this situation.
Oh man.
I think number one, I don't think Jenkins is going anywhere unless he just loses the locker room. Because as long as and like you said, the substitute teacher vibe, I think that was a good, even though it's an insane take. That's probably a good vibe. The players aren't gonna complain about, or at least people aren't gonna complain about a boss that lets them do whatever they want.
Come on, bro.
You can be on any job ever. If your boss lets you just chill, kick your feet up on your phone all day, and you still get your work done, you still get paid.
I'm never leaving.
You ain't gonna complain. So unless like the top dogs like Ja or Jaren and Dan say like, "Hey, this isn't working," or Zach Kleiman just be like, "Oh, well, we underperformed this year and we need to make a change now." Mm-hmm. I don't see him leaving. This front office has a history of changing coaches. That's what I was talking about before. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they're actually trying to make Jenkins like that long tenure cemented coach. And I feel like we're just gonna have to deal with what we have. All the guys you named, I don't think they're bad options at all. I think Mike Brown, if we could somehow trade coaches, I know that's not a thing, but if we could like trade coaches, I would love to see Mike Brown.
I ain't mad at Mike. I got respect and love for Mike.
I think he's a great coach. Again, another guy that's coached a lot of top guys. LeBron talks great about Mike Brown. He loves Mike Brown.
I thought Mike Brown was a square. He just looked weird to me. And I started seeing the videos of him cussing dudes out. I said, give me him.
Yeah. He said, turn the jets on. He did that.
Give me him.
I like him.
Yeah. I like him. My bad. I was unfamiliar with your game.
Bro. I didn't know. Yeah. But yeah, man, like even though we're on different sides of the coin, I completely understand your viewpoint. Like, so my last question, do you think Jenkins is gonna prevent us winning a championship? Because you have said we have a championship level team presently constructed with insert center. So do you think that Jenkins is gonna prevent we can't win a championship if Jenkins is our head coach? That's my last point, then we're gonna get out of here.
Will he prevent it is to be seen. Can he prevent it? I can't even say it. I absolutely believe that he can prevent us by rotations.
So you see a situation where we just get out coached in a series where a team less talented than us or less better. That's not good grammar. But a team not better than us just out coaches Taylor Jenkins, and that's how we lose a series.
He's been here 5 years. There's very few games that I can tell you off the top of my head that I can point to that game and say he coached his ass off or he coached that game. Like he was the reason that we won that game. Mm-hmm. I can coach to other coaches where it's been like key either adjustments as far as personnel or just key adjustments in scheme that caused us to lose. That Lakers series, the Lakers were not that much better than us either.
Oh, yeah, we got our coach.
Come on, bro. Like
the Warriors series. No more. The reason I my fault, cut you off. No, but the Lakers, I say Lakers series less because we didn't have Steve-O. We were getting dominated on the boards. I did think we got out coached, but I think the Warriors series, that series proved there's levels to this coach. I don't think Steve Kerr is the greatest coach in the world either, but he outcoached Taylor Jenkins in that series. And
Ja was hurt too. It's hard.
Ja was
hurt. But he didn't release on Dylan though either in that game.
No,
6.
It was game 6. It was game. No, because game 6 we got blew out. It was game 4. No, it was the game. It was the game in Golden State where Dylan took that ill-advised 3. It was like game 4-3.
Because we was up most of the game.
We was up most of the game. We was up most of the game. So it was one of those games. I know
In
exactly
spite of Dylan.
In spite of Dylan. But it was still in some of those games. I feel like he could have reeled Jai in a little bit. I feel like even in that game,
that's fair.
Even that game one, and I was at that game. Oh, I was because I was at that game. Like that final play that they line up for Ja to try to get left hand. That's not a good play, bro. Like it's not. Just Ja going down. It was because they thought it would help because it worked in the Timberwolves series.
Yeah.
But Ja going downhill or Dez or Trip going downhill to get you a bucket to winning it, that's not a philosophy for success. Because you run against a Mike Malone or because you talk about Eric Spoelstra. I think Eric Spoelstra is a great coach now. But
he had
now
time to learn though, bro.
Yeah, that's true. He did. I agree with that. Well, we run into a Steve Kerr or a Mike Malone, or I can't remember. I can't think of coaches in the West right now, like great coaches in the West. But I agree with you. If we run into those coaches, I can see a situation where he gets out. We hope it doesn't happen. We hope we want the Grizzlies to have a party or a parade on Beale Street. But I can definitely see the situation where he prevents us winning a championship. But I also do believe that if he doesn't mess it up, like you said, I feel like all he needs to do is fix his offensive scheme, cut that bitch from like 12, how he be trying to run, to like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And grow a backbone a little bit, then I feel like we can talk about him being a championship level coach or him not getting in his own way. Those are 3 things he needs to do. And that's my spiel on it.
I'm gonna tell you why, in my opinion, it's such a dire need to make a decision now. Like next year is it. I said that about this year, but nobody in their right mind can hold him accountable for this season. It's things that I can say that he ain't grown. You want to see Jaron develop, Gigi develop, Vince develop, but I also want to see his ass develop too. And I haven't that much, if at all. So he got this year as a pass. Next year, it's a wrap, bro. Like honestly, I don't even care if they injure next year. That's just my opinion. I don't care. Like it's just let's just move on. Let's do something different, bro. Like because maybe the play groups got our guys injured. I don't know what the hell they doing in play groups, but like I don't know. Maybe they wrestling.
Funny, bro.
Maybe
they fighting. They got gloves They got gloves on in the play groups.
Thank you. I don't know what they doing.
Whoever knock out who starts in this game.
Like what are we doing? But I say all that to say, like it's crucial to make a decision at some point soon because you got Gigi and Vince this season. After this season, you got them on 3 more years of the deal that you got them on. Once those deals are up, you don't have the luxury of having as deep of a team as you have unless you just look up again on late round, second round talent, and you can do the same thing over again, getting, guys at 4 years at $2.5 million a year. But it's crucial right now with them guys being at the level that they are to strike right now while the iron hot. Because you may not have them if you wait 3 years for Jenkins to get his shit together. I want Memphis to have a championship. I don't give a damn about dude. He ain't from Memphis. And got no ties to Memphis. And I don't care about none of that. I want Big Memphis to get a championship. That's all I care about, bro. So
simple as that.
That's it, man. We this was longer than what we expected and intended, but man, I knew it was gonna be a fire conversation. I knew that.
Yes, sir. And I feel like we delivered for sure.
Absolutely. This week, man, we got 3 games. We're gonna get up out of here. 3 games, one at the Nuggets, one at home versus the Lakers, and then one at the Magic. Man, what you got the guys going this week, record-wise?
Initially, I want to say 1-3. I feel like we're gonna drop one to the Nuggets and the Lakers, and I feel like we could give the Magic a run for their money. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if everyone plays, if we don't take the Lakers as a rest game because we're playing the Lakers at home, I feel like we can mess around and win that game because the Lakers are so inconsistent. They are probably one of the most inconsistent teams in the league. Because sometimes they look like they can win the championship, and other days they look like they're on the brink of not making the play-in. Like the Rockets are like a game and a half behind them right now in the standings. So 1-3, but if everyone plays, I can see us grabbing that still another games from the Lakers and going 2-1. What about you?
I think I'm gonna go with you, bro. I think I'm gonna go 2-1 myself. 2-1 myself. I think they can get that Orlando game out if Bane is back.
Yeah,
which I think they kind of just letting him. They're not gonna try to run him through the ground the last couple games. I think they're gonna just let him take a few off. But if he plays that Orlando game, I think they get that one. And I also think that they can get the Laker game, like you said. The Nuggets,
Hey man, tip your cat to him. Like them boys hooping. Them boys over there hooping.
Test yourself, see where you at. You know, definitely get a idea of where you at as far as competing. Again, I want to see some stuff, you know, against them. If they lose, I'm not mad. I don't care. It's just I want to see the habits, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's it, bro. That's it. It's been an amazing show, man. A little bit longer than we've ever done. We had an hour and over an hour and 40 at this point. But I hope y'all enjoyed this for sure. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Evan, like I said, glad to have you on, bro. This has been a dope ride for sure. And we got more coming for y'all. This ain't it. Like we don't have
nowhere near.
More heat coming, man. So you got anything coming up this week for you writing wise, bro?
Nah, I think I got a break for a little bit. I think I'm not writing again until next week. So I got a little bit of break right now. Still trying to. I got a month left of school, y'all. Remember, I am a college student. Y'all can see I'm in the dorm room.
And athlete.
And I'm a college athlete, so I got about a month left of school. Then I got about a month or two left of track. And then I can't wait for y'all till I actually get to come home to Memphis and actually like do this for real with my whole home setup, because then we can be able to do some more stuff. Yeah. But nothing else coming out. We just want to say we appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all the feedback. Keep coming with the feedback, bro. That's all we need. All we can only get better as much as y'all talk to us. So that's all on me, bro. Shout out to Bluff City again for giving us the opportunity to do this. We are having a lot of fun. We're having a blast doing this. We're having a blast doing this. It's good talking to someone intelligent about Grizz basketball. Sometimes
it can be rough, man.
I can't talk to some people about basketball sometimes.
Bro. It's draining.
Yeah, we can say we blessed and thankful to have the opportunity for sure. And we gonna come with some more heat for y'all for sure.
Absolutely, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all of that. Follow us, tap in, and everything on, like I said, all platforms, No Bluffin Podcast. Make sure you do go ahead and give us follows on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We got our handles right here. And make sure you follow Bluff City Media. Subscribe to Bluff City Media too, because that's where we at, man. So shout out to everybody over there doing everything well and dandy, man. We're going to get out of here. It's been a long one. It's been a great one. I can't wait for next week, man, to get back on here and chop it up a little bit more about Grizzlies basketball. So for me, from Evan, we'll catch y'all next week, man. Y'all have a blessed week and go Grizz.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.